Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy day number one of our LinkedIn workshop. And it's coming at a perfect time for those. No, we're good, Christy. Um, for those that didn't know, Nancy and I are part of a couples mastermind, and we had a retreat in Park City, Utah about a week ago. And we got back and we got COVID.
Oh,
And at the most inopportune time. So Nancy and I were in bed literally for 72 straight hours from Tuesday until Friday morning. It was kind of like the universe's way of saying rest, relax, recover, and get ready for this workshop. So we're better, recovered, and ready to rock and roll with each and every one of you all this week. So as you come on, please do pop into the chat and say hi and where you are tuning in from. You're going to hear a lot of that during, obviously during this whole workshop. I'm very big into, making sure you guys are engaged. And reason being, there have been studies done that the more engaged you are in any sort of workshop, whether it's in person, or online, the more that you're engaged, you're going to retain 3 times more information that someone that's having multiple tabs open, or your screen's off and you're doing other things and you're vacuuming and cooking, which I'm all into multitasking, trust me. But what I'll tell you is the more honed in and the more focused you are this week, the better this week is going to be. And we have a lot to cover. Just a couple pieces of housekeeping. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to do it now. And for those that don't know me personally, gratitude is a really big part of my life. It's something that I focus on each and every day. And I want to kind of set the tone, not only for today, but for this week. So why don't everyone just take a second, hop into the chat, and just type one thing that you're grateful for today. It could be your health, it could be your family, your friends, the clothes on your back, whatever it is. Let's just really set the tone for this week. Um, because again, I think that the ability that we all have to take time out of each day to be here together, it's a really important thing to recognize, because I just want to say I'm grateful for all of you, just because you could be anywhere you want today and the rest of this week, and you're choosing to spend these next 5 days with me. And I'm just really grateful to get to do what I get to do and train what I love to train. And I do hope, obviously, that the needle of your businesses are moved forward after this week's training. Now, the other thing that I just want to kind of make sure that you guys have done, is if you took the LinkedIn scorecard assessment. Now, a bunch of you did. A bunch of you may have not done. It's part of today's accountability assignment, but we're going to kind of tap into some of the results that we got from the assessment. So, Christy, the COO of our company, she's going to drop in the chat the link to the assessment. You don't have to fill it out now. You can click on it, have it opened up in a separate window. It takes about 3 minutes to fill out. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure that you do take the LinkedIn scorecard assessment. And Thora just read my mind. She said opened her eyes, because basically in this scorecard, this is just me this week, Saeed. Nancy is tending to the other part of our business. This is my jam. So I'm heading the LinkedIn training this week. But I will let her know you were asking for her. Jane said it was very eye-opening. The reason why I wanted to put together this scorecard is that I wanted you guys to see what areas were lacking in regards to the different aspects of LinkedIn, whether it's the optimization of your profile, building of your network, creating content, because it's going to allow me to then take that data. I'm really big into research data, KPIs, key performance indicators, and then put it into the training. So we're actually going to touch on some of the results and some of the things that I saw from the assessment. So again, don't forget, part of today's accountability assignment, if you haven't done it already, make sure that you do fill the assessment out. The other thing that I want to share with you is I just want all of you to know, whether you're watching live or on the replay from today, is I just want you to know that you're all being heard by me and the team, in the sense that I recognize that every single one of you has maybe a different business from one another, has a different core demographic, is it a different, I would say, financial position than a lot of people, and maybe even knowledge-wise of LinkedIn. But I just want to let you know that you're all heard, and that's also the point of this assessment, because I wanted to hear from all of you what you're struggling with. I'm a solution-oriented person, so I wanted to make sure that all of you had the keys to the castle and you had the right solutions to really move the needle of your business together. So if everybody is clear on this so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure. So if you haven't taken the assessment yet, it'll be dropped a few more times throughout today's training. That's a really big piece because it's going to give you your scorecard results. Now, if this is your first time, learning directly from me about LinkedIn, drop a number 1 in the chat. Type a number 2 if it's not your first time. Number 1 if it's your first time. Number 2 if it's not your first time. Okay, so I'm seeing a mix of both, which is great. I love seeing new people. And again, this is something that I've been teaching for almost 12 years now. And that's where it led to the books and the speaking engagements and everything else that I'm doing. Now, there is a little bit of housekeeping again. I'm going to reiterate this once we get going. As always, there's going to be some slides that we're going to be looking at. And the way that I kind of like to do this is I like to educate first and then show you second. So basically educate you on each of the 5 days. Obviously, today is going to be about the setup of your LinkedIn profile. Tomorrow is going to be about the build of your ideal client network on LinkedIn. Day 3 is going to be about how to message people and the structure of your sales calls. Day 4 is your content creation routine. And day 5 is going to be... Everybody hear me okay? Just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are... I'm coming through? Okay, good. Perfect. The other thing is on day 5, we're going to be going over what I call my 20-minute-a-day routine. I have a patented system that I do teach, both DIY style, but also either one-on-one or group coaching style. So it is patented. You can see the patents behind me right there. I'm very proud of them. So it is a very structured approach to how you should be using LinkedIn. But we're also going to be doing some Q&A on Friday as well, because I know a lot of people are going to have some questions as we go throughout this. So I do want to suggest, if there's any questions that do bubble up to the surface as we go through each day, write them down on a piece of paper, because you will be sent a Q&A form to fill out, and I will answer some questions with all of you on Friday. So if everybody is clear on that so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. The replays, just to let everybody know, will be available to watch back until Monday night, June 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be a place in the private Facebook group. If you're not yet in the private Facebook group, Christy's actually going to drop the link in the chat right now. The replays will be posted in the private Facebook group, so make sure you click there, and you can just click to join, or request to join, that is. They'll also be emailed out. There's going to be a replay page. Yep. So Jane asked, can I have the opt-in page so I can invite friends who need to be here? So Christy's going to grab that as well. So if anybody does want to invite other people throughout this week, again, you'll find the workshops on there. I actually also have the direct link if you guys needed it, just because, again, a lot of people do want to kind of learn as this process unfolds. So I'm going to put that in the link really quickly for you guys so everyone has that. So if anybody does want to share, let me just do this real quick. That is the link right there. I just dropped in the chat. If anybody wants to grab that, you can actually share that with anyone that wants to obviously join the rest of this week. So the replays will be on a private replay page, so you'll be able to watch them back whenever you would like. They will be posted immediately in the Facebook group, but will be emailed out every single morning. So tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., you're going to get an email from me that's going to say day 1 replay, and let's get ready for day number 2, and so on and so on. So if everybody is clear on that so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Perfect. Just want to make sure everybody is on board. Okay. The other thing is I am very big on not just accountability, but making sure that everybody is here. As you saw, part of the assessment, I asked everyone, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to showing up each and every day? And I know there's conflicts of time and there's other things that people are doing, so I'm completely present to that. But you do want to make sure that you are here every day if you can be. Obviously, everything is going to be recorded, so if you ever need to go back and watch it, you can. Reason being, there are going to be homework winners announced every single day. So at the end of today's session, there's going to be an accountability assignment. Part of it is filling out the assessment. The second is going to be something that you need to do to your LinkedIn profile. And I always pin the post for the homework at the top of the Facebook group. And all you have to do is do the homework 30 minutes prior to the start of the next day. So you're going to get an accountability assignment at the end of today's session, which means you just have to get it done before 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. There's going to be a thread. You post it there, and our team will be selecting 2 winners each day. That you're going to, obviously, there's going to be some great prizes. So all you have to do is show up live, do the accountability assignment, and wait for your name to be called at the end of the next day. So at the end of tomorrow's session, there'll be 2 winners announced. So again, if you haven't yet joined the Facebook group, Christy's going to drop that in the chat right now. So make sure you're in the group. Also, we're going to put in the group, if you haven't yet downloaded the workbook, it's going to be in the Facebook group under documents. You can download it right there. It will also be emailed out every single day, just in case. So all bases are going to be covered. So do not worry. Now, before we dive into today, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are rocking and rolling with LinkedIn, meaning you're churning sales, it's grown and scaled your business. 0 being nothing is happening. Where would you guys rate yourselves on a scale of 1 to 10, just so I can take a temperature? So I'm seeing some 2s, 5s, 0s, 1s, 5s. Okay. So the goal that I have for all of you is to be as close to a 10 as far as knowledge of what you need to do by the end of this week. So I've written 5 LinkedIn books. I'm a keynote speaker for Caesars Entertainment and some of their largest clients in the country. I just got selected to be a keynote at an HR convention in Minnesota later this year. I was just in Philly for a keynote. This is something that I love teaching. This is something that I know when people can really latch on and understand the core functionalities of LinkedIn, it's game over. So if you guys are ready to dive in and tackle day number 1, optimizing your profiles, drop a number 1 in the chat. And again, we're not going to be doing any questions today. I got to get through all of the stuff. If you do have questions, make sure you write them down on a piece of paper, and also make sure that you do fill out the questionnaire form that will be sent out on Thursday in preparation for Friday's part Q&A session. Okay, so let me share my screen as I always like to do. And I'm going to hide video panel. If you guys can see my screen, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat, please. Just want to make sure before we dive in, I just want to make sure everyone can see my awesome, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right, here we go. So again, make sure that you join the private Facebook group. You're going to be getting 4 emails a day. You're going to be getting the AM replay, 1 hour warning, 15-minute warning, and we are live. So make sure that you do not mark any of those as spam or unsubscribe, because you will then not be able to get the notices about any of these trainings. As mentioned, you can watch back the replays until June 17th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're going to be posting your accountability homework in the Facebook group thread. Or if you're not on Facebook, I'm not going to tell you to start an account today. If you're not, you can just email the support@scottaaron.net email instead of posting it in Facebook if you are not on there. Now, so we're going to talk about the steps that need to be taken in order to make sure that you are getting the right kind of visibility and traction. But before we do that, again, I just want to thank everyone that's already taken the time to complete the LinkedIn scorecard assessment. It was very eye-opening to me because I don't ever like to assume I know what people are struggling with or what they need help with. So you guys are just helping my job that much more, because now I know exactly what it is that you need help with. But what we're going to be going into all this week are strategies that work, things that can directly fuel your business growth and your personal branding success on LinkedIn, but also some success stories of people that I've worked with directly, whether it's in a group program, one-on-one, or a DIY course, the results they got from following my LinkedIn strategy. But some of the big things that really came up with that people were struggling with is just, a fear of not knowing what to do. How do I really leverage LinkedIn? I'm not generating consistent leads. I have limited beliefs. I need to get more organized, right? I'm having some imposter syndrome. What are people going to think? And also creating content that really sets me apart. Now, again, all these things, if you guys can resonate with any of those things that you're seeing on the screen right now, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Maybe it's overwhelmed, no systems in place, poor time management, inconsistent revenue, difficulty finding clients, lack of knowledge. So the plain and simple truth is this: every single one of these things that you see, I help people overcome. I literally, the system that I've created with LinkedIn is one of those things that really checks all these boxes and moves you to exactly where you need to be. But the fact is, people feel that they need to be more committed. So if you feel that you need to be more committed to the goals that you have for LinkedIn, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. That's the big thing. We need to be committed. So here's just some facts. A smooth sea never made for a skilled sailor, right? It's going to be choppy. There's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some learning curves that we have to go about. But uncertain times shape who we are. And there are going to be times, plain and simple, that you're not going to always feel motivated. Just understand that's natural. There's times where I'm not motivated. Nancy's not motivated. But those are things that we do have to overcome together. You need to stay committed to your goals because they will be challenged. Now, type a Y or a yes if you've ever faced a challenge in your business or in your life. That's everybody should be, there should be 160 yeses in the chat. Anytime you're learning something new, there's a learning curve. And I know you guys have maybe heard me say this before, those that it's your first time learning from me. T. Harv Eker, who's wrote an incredible book, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He talks about how every master was once a disaster. So in the very beginning, it's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be choppy. We're not supposed to know exactly all of those things, but practice leads to getting things better. And this is something that Nancy likes talking about. When things get tough, we have to stop crawling back into our hermit crab shell when things get hard. We have to lean into that, right? We have to face the challenges that are right in front of us. And if you're not confident in your commitment and the value that you offer, people will not buy. So if that resonates and if that's clear, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are with me so far. And it's true. We've seen many professionals that we've worked with and I've worked with struggle and then triumph. So Janice, one of my clients, and this is all from LinkedIn. She was contracted by a top Arizona golf club. She was featured in Golf Digest, which is the #1 golf publication in the world. Her network has exploded. She's created her online course. And all of that was based off of some of the changes that we made together on LinkedIn. Teresa, she 5x'd her revenue in 12 months, launched a new program and pre-sold 50% of her spots. She's launching her podcast and her network has blown through the roof, and especially her newsletter on LinkedIn. Nina, this just happened towards the end of last year. She secured multiple 5-figure contracts from LinkedIn itself. She sent a $50,000 proposal that got accepted, picking up new leads from LinkedIn from her newsletter and network growth. So these are all people that I have actually worked with, helping them with my strategy personalized on LinkedIn. Gary, who is killing it on LinkedIn, released a #1 new book. He's got an expert podcast now. He picks up clients every single month from my LinkedIn event strategy that I teach, and his newsletter, his growing clientele base, and all doing all of this. And these are just a few of the examples. I have over 500 written recommendations on my LinkedIn profile. And these are some of the stories that I love sharing with people to prove that it is possible. The most common thing we hear, this is the truth. Do what Scott says to do because it works. And that's what people always ask me. I always tell them, if you follow the steps of what I teach, you're going to get results. So now let's dig into building and optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So there's a little checklist that I kind of go over first and foremost. Now, your profile is the first thing that a new contact will see. It only takes seconds for people to decide whether they want to connect further or not. So you do want to make it memorable and impactful. So you always want to use a clear and professional photo of yourself. People want to put a face to what they're reading. And something that I always go by is that faces connect and bodies sell. So it should be shoulders above. I learned the hard way. When I first got onto LinkedIn, I was still in the health and wellness space. So I had one of my old bodybuilding competition photos as my personalized photo when people went to my profile. That was my profile picture. And man, it got some unwarranted connections and also some not so appropriate messages, if you get what I mean. So I realized, I'm like, you know what? I got to take that picture away. I got to make sure that I have a profile picture where I actually have clothes on, not off, and from the neck above. So just remember, faces connect, bodies sell. But also highlight yourself as the business owner if it applies. You know, are you the CEO, the president, the founder, the owner, the operator? If you're not, use that specific title. You know, maybe you're the chief operating officer, maybe you're the chief executive officer, whatever it is, really use that to highlight yourself as the business owner or professional that you are. Take advantage of the name pronunciation, creator mode tools such as LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn audio events, LinkedIn newsletter, your profile clickable link, the LinkedIn bell, and featured content. And also your summary is important because it gives you a chance to tell people why you do something, not simply what you do. But you also have to make sure that you fill out every single section on LinkedIn because a lot of it has to do with SEO. There is specific SEO, search engine optimization, that is fluttered all throughout our LinkedIn profiles. So that not only goes for our headlines, but that goes for our about or summary section, the experience section, education, volunteer experience, licenses and certs. Your profile is designed to tell people how they can benefit from being a connection of yours. It should not be a generic, boring resume. So if this is clear so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Yeah, the name pronunciation is like this little microphone that you can see on people's profile where it basically the person is pronouncing their name. And you guys can always look at my profile on LinkedIn just as an example, which we're going to obviously look at that toward the end of today's training. So when you're thinking about keywords, you have to think about, what keywords should I be using, right? In the sense of when people are searching for you on LinkedIn. So this is what I want you to start thinking about. So with what you do as a professional, and we can do a little bit of a brainstorming session right now. Type in the chat, what keyword or keywords would your ideal client need to search in order to find you? So what keyword or keywords would your ideal client, grief, content creation, medical writer, awesome, meeting events, travel, branding, yeah, awesome. So I call this the passenger side perspective. So what I mean by that is you need to position yourself in a way where your core demographic is using the search engine in order to find you, right? So in the sense that, you have to get into the headspace of your ideal client and what would they most likely search for that would enable your profile to populate. Those are some of the keywords that you need to be using. And we're going to dive in a little bit more. But also, who's the best person or profession for me? My product, my good, or my service? So my secondary question to all of you is this: what profession or job title of people do you serve the best? Type it in the chat. What profession or job title? CPAs. Love that, Tom. And this is important because you have to understand that everybody is on LinkedIn as a business professional. So they all have careers, right? They're all doing specific things. So you have to think about what does that person have on their profile? CPA, CEO, venue owner, builders, leaders. So you have to think about, all right, who am I looking to actually connect with? But also, what are some jobs that I've had in the past that I can include on my profile that will link my ideal client to me? So I was in the fitness industry from 1998 to 2016, 18 years. And if you scroll far enough down on my experience section, you'll actually find the last gym that I closed in 2016. I'm not going to delete that from my experience because it's part of my experience. It's an anchor. It's a connection point, but it's also a topic of conversation when I'm connecting with people. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. I just want to make sure you guys are clear so far. So when we talk about power adjectives that you should be using in the headline portion of your profile, these are just some examples: president, CEO, founder, owner, operator, creator, licensed XYZ, certified XYZ, coach, consultant, expert. So type in the chat which of these closely resonates with who you are as a business professional. Consultant, expert, CEO and founder, expert, wonderful. Yeah. Coach, 8 and 6, awesome. Expert consultant, founder, beautiful. It's really important for you guys to recognize how you want people to see you on LinkedIn. And it really starts with that power adjective. Now, some of the LinkedIn profile features that people can take advantage of are the LinkedIn name pronunciation. And this can be heard on the mobile app and the desktop version, but it has to be added through the mobile app. So just drop a Y or a yes if you guys have the mobile app. Y or a yes if you have the mobile app. If you don't, make sure you download it. And really quickly, with the mobile app, it's very easy to add. I'll actually show you where it is on the desktop version, which mimics the mobile app version. The LinkedIn creator features. If you want to start doing LinkedIn Lives, you want to start a LinkedIn newsletter, which I always recommend. The profile clickable link, which is also a way for people. So just to let you guys know, I'm a big believer that social media, including LinkedIn, is so super important to leverage. but to get people from online to offline, meaning every social media platform, including LinkedIn, is rented land. We don't own these profiles on any of them. So we have to make sure that we are having ways and opportunities for people to populate onto our LinkedIn profile. And there's maybe a clickable link where it sends them to either a lead magnet form or our website where we can start collecting emails, because you do want to turn your LinkedIn profile into one giant email collection machine. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Awesome. Just making sure that everybody is with me so far. Now, also the LinkedIn bell, which is almost like the notification bell that people then push on YouTube. So if you want to get notified, maybe your favorite YouTube creator has released a new video, you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified. LinkedIn has the same thing. It has a notification bell where people can be notified of that. And then LinkedIn featured content, and I'm going to show you my profile as an example. And LinkedIn creator mode is not gone. You still have access to all the creator resources. There's just not a toggle anymore. They just recently removed that. Now, your summary or your about section. There are some specific keys, and I want you guys to look at these right now, just so you, and they're in your workbook. But I want you guys to really recognize these specific keys of what needs to be done when it comes to your summary. So number one has to be 300 to 500 words in length. Okay. Number two, make sure that you write it in first person. So I, not third person like Kramer from Seinfeld. You need to be telling your story, not someone else. Also, make sure that at the end of your summary section, you have some sort of call to action. Email me here or check out my website here. You need to give people a directive. Again, going back to something that I stated earlier, you want to take people from online to offline. So 300 to 500 words in length, written in first person, and a call to action. So if everybody is clear on that so far, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Now, these are all specific things. So just to let you guys know, the SEO within LinkedIn has gone through the roof in the sense of Microsoft and Google have a partnership now. So the more optimized your LinkedIn profile is, the more likely it's going to appear on the general search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Now, I will tell you this, and I'm just getting ahead of it. The updating of your LinkedIn profile is probably the heaviest lifting that you'll ever have to do, because there's a lot to fill out. Now, what I will tell you is this. Don't expect to get your entire profile optimized the first time. It's going to take time. And as we get through today's training, I want you guys to focus more so on the background banner, profile picture, and headline section, just to kind of get the wheels moving in that right direction. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. All the other sections, obviously the about section, summary section, experience, all those will be tweaked and refined as you go. But there's going to be obviously a starter place of where we're going to begin. Exactly. Baby steps first. Think about the progress that a baby makes, right? They lift their head up, they start rolling over, they start crawling, cruising, walking, running, game over. And that's what everyone here is going to be doing. Now, the experience section. So the experience section, you want to list at least 3 experiences. And the 3 things are, again, going back, 300, 500 words in length, written in first person, call to action. Those are the 3 things. Now, with the experience section, list at least 3. So obviously the top one being what you're most focused on right now. and then other things that you've done throughout your professional career. It's okay that if it has nothing to do with what you're doing now. So drop a Y or a yes if what you're doing right now has nothing to do with your business past, just as an example. Okay. And that's okay. Again, I was in the health and wellness industry, but I'm not in the health and wellness industry anymore. So it's okay to have those things listed on your profile. Why? I'm going to quiz you really quick. Why do you want to leave some of your old experiences there that have nothing to do with what you're doing now? I said it very quickly. Yes, Carissa. Connection points and potential commonality. Correct, Doug. Yep. It's things to talk about. Now, and again, to Glenn's point, it does show that you're well-rounded if you've kind of dipped your toes in a few different things. Absolutely. Business knowledge. So you do want to list at least 3 different experiences. With each experience, you want at a minimum a 3 to 5 sentence description, not bullet points, right? Not bullet points of, like a resume. Like, give some juice to it. Let people know what it is that you did, how you did it, what results you got for people, who you worked with, what your roles were. Also, make sure that your education is filled out. Now, I'm going to give you a little bonus cheat code here for your education section. Make sure you list any university or universities that you attended. I attended 3, still graduated, just took me some time to kind of bounce around. But make sure that you do not have the dates at which you attended. List any and all universities or educational places that you attended without mentioning the dates at which you went. Reason being is there's ageism on LinkedIn, unfortunately, but it's true. So the fact is, it's very easy just when you go into edit, right? When you go in and edit, degrees are different. So that could be under a license or an award. But again, people really do not mention any dates. You're going to leave it as just month and year. If you want to let people know achievements and awards, getting a bachelor's, getting a master's, you can list that in the accomplishments and awards section. Okay. So I'm just giving you some behind the scenes tips of what I learned from LinkedIn themselves. Leave off the years of your education. That's the only portion. Every other section, you can include dates, especially your experience section. Have the dates there. When it comes to education, leave them off. If that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are with me so far. Awesome. Now, also make sure that you fill out the licenses and certifications. So any licenses that you've accrued over the years, any certifications. So drop a number 1 if you have one or multiple licenses or certifications. Okay, list all of them. I still have all of my licenses and certifications from the fitness industry. I'm not going to delete them. They're a part of my business past. Also, volunteer experience. How many of you participate in any philanthropic activities? Y or a yes? If you do, add the volunteer experience. I'm going to show you in just a few minutes where to find each of these sections on LinkedIn. It's very self-intuitive, very easy to do. But also you can list at least 15 skills. I always suggest 5 to 10, up to 15 that you are highly skilled in. You can list up to 50. You don't need to do that anymore. I would say between 5 and 15 skills is more than appropriate, but also any accomplishments that you've achieved, awards that you've won, publications that you've been featured in, or if you have your own publication, like you've written books or ebooks, make sure that you're listed there as well, because Nancy and I generate book sales on Amazon because you can put clickable links in the publication section. The other thing is you want to gather as many recommendations as possible. So how many of you have recommendations received on LinkedIn? Y or a yes, N or a no? Y or yes, N or no? Okay, good. Now, here's the thing. I've accrued over 500, which, again, I'm very, very proud of. Social proof is very, very important. So when someone does go to my profile, and they see that this guy has, 518, 520 recommendations, that's the social proof to let that person know this person knows what they're doing. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. So you can ask people that you've worked with, you've worked for, you currently work with, people that know you and can speak to your professionalism. Ask the people that you know. And again, the dates, just to let everybody know, the only dates that should be removed from your profile one last time, just your education. All the other dates can be included. Okay. All the other dates can be included everywhere else. But again, if you look at my recommendations, they go way back to my personal training days. So it's okay. And you can use testimonials in other ways, but they're not a written recommendation. So I always recommend, if you're connected to people, clients, ex-clients, current coworkers, ex-coworkers, current boss, ex-boss that could speak to your professionalism and credibility, make sure you're, obviously using the recommendation section on LinkedIn. Now, I'm going to stop my share really quickly. Let me just exit full screen. So if everybody is clear so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. I just want to make sure everybody is clear so far. Okay. Now, the one thing that I'm going to show you is, obviously there's a couple different things that I kind of want to go over. First and foremost is the background, because I'm going to take you through my entire profile, but we're really only going to look at this top portion. That's part of your homework. Part of your homework is to make sure that you have your background photo, headshot, and also the top portion right here filled out the right way. So I just want you guys to know that's going to be the main portion of your homework. Now, if you don't have anything here, that's okay. The easiest thing to do, and I'm going to show you guys a little hack really, really quickly. Drop a Y or a yes if you guys are familiar with the program Canva, CANVA.com. Okay. It's free. So just to kind of give you guys a little cheat, if you go to Canva, so it's canva.com, and you type in LinkedIn banner. So they have a search engine, right? All you have to do is type in LinkedIn banner, and it's going to give you pre-templated banners where the ones without the crown, the ones with the crown is the paid version of Canva. But if you don't see a crown, basically like this one right here, you can click on it, you can customize it, and then you can put your own information in there. You save it to your computer, and then what you would do is you would upload it right to your LinkedIn background by just clicking this little edit pencil in the top right-hand corner. So if everybody followed that very clearly and understands, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure. Okay. Now, the other thing is, someone asked earlier about the LinkedIn bell. So just to let you guys know, the LinkedIn bell is actually right here, but you can't see it as the owner of your profile. As the owner of your profile, you see an edit pencil, but a connection or viewer of your profile, guess what they see? Type it in the chat. If you can see the edit pencil, what do they see? They see the bell. So if you go to your profile, you're going to see the edit pencil, but someone that's visiting your profile is going to see the bell. That's why in Canva, you can put in these little blocks, and I just put ring my bell to get notified of my latest content. So basically it encourages them to ring your bell, or ding, 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 as Carl said. So if everybody's clear on that, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Now, the other thing that you're going to see right here I just want to go over this really quickly. The verification badge. People are a little weary of this because it's a third party. LinkedIn partnered with a security company to verify our accounts so they can't be duplicated or reprocessed. So if you have the ability to verify your account legally with either a passport or a driver's license, do it. It protects your account. It's not a scam. As soon as I had the ability to do it, I did it. So verify your account. If that's clear, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to move my microphone really quickly because this is where the name pronunciation comes in. This is like a little bonus thing that you can add. I'm just going to move my mic really quickly, and I'm going to play this for you in just a second. Hold on.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Aaron. Thanks for checking out my page. Connect with me, follow me, or send me a message if you'd like to leverage LinkedIn to build your business.
So if you guys were able to hear that, type a number 1 in the chat. Okay, Louise says, yeah. Okay, good. So just to let you guys know how and you don't have to do this, but I always use it as like a 10-second teaser to basically just add another way to direct people of what I want them to do. Like I want them to connect with me. I want them to message me, blah, blah, blah. So all you have to do on the, this little edit pencil right here, you're going to do that on the LinkedIn app. So I just want to kind of show you guys really quickly. So I don't typically do this, but just grab your phones really quickly. I just want to kind of run you through. And I'm going to just kind of talk you through it. So if you have your phone in your hand, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay. And I'm going to kind of speed through this. Okay. Number 2, open the LinkedIn app. When it's open, type a number 1 in the chat. Open the LinkedIn app, type a number 1. Okay. Number 2, don't type this yet, but the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to click the profile picture bubble on the top left. After you've done that, type a number 2. So, and then it's going to give you kind of like this slide out box. And I want you to click under your name where it says view profile and then type a number 3. So click view profile and then type number 3. Beautiful. Now you're going to see something that looks similar to what we're looking at on the screen here. So there's 2 edit pencils. I want you to click the bottom edit pencil to the far right. And once you've done that, type a number 4 in the chat. Type a number 4 in the chat. Beautiful. Now you'll see it has the basic info, first name, last name, additional name, and then it'll say name pronunciation, and it may say add name pronunciation. If you can see that, drop a number 5 in the chat. And there it is. You found it. So you don't have to do that now. That's just a little bonus hack. If you wanted to add the name pronunciation, you could, instead of just having Scott Aaron, you could have something like what I had, which is a little 10-second recording that basically tells people what it is that you need to do. So that's on there as well. If you want to do that, add it. But you have to record it from the mobile app the way that I showed you, and it appears on both the mobile app and the desktop. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Now, also, as you can see right here, this is where those keywords come into play, right? And this is what I want you guys to focus on, part of your homework. So you can see expert, authority, mastermind. So mastermind is a keyword. Creator, leads generation, author, speaker, marketing, podcast host, client acquisition, expert, connection, personal branding, all keywords. So you can have up to 200 characters, 220 characters in your headline. So I want you guys to focus on updating that portion of your LinkedIn headline, if you have to, from that passenger side perspective. Think about all the keywords. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Beautiful. So again, the big things that I want you guys to focus on, and I'm still going to go through my profile, but the background banner, your headline, right? And your profile picture, the three things: background banner, profile picture, headline. If everybody is clear on those things that I want them to update, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Beautiful. Now, just to kind of go down a little bit further. So this is my about section, right? It's written in first person. It's 300 to 500 words in length. And then you can see right here my call to action. Website for more info. Email me here. Now, featured content section. So again, anything that you guys want to add. So if you go back up to the top portion of the LinkedIn profile, you see where it says add profile section. If you click on that, it's going to give you three different things. It's going to give you core, recommended, and additional. So again, core is where you can add education. You can also add your skills. Remember, I said 5 to 15 skills. If you click on recommended, add featured content, licenses and certifications, projects, courses, recommendations, additional, volunteer experience, publications, honors and awards. So you don't have to look far to find what you need to add. It's all right here when you click add profile section. So if that's clear, just type the word clear in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are clear in the. So if you want to add any of those sections that I mentioned today, you just have to go right there. So just kind of taking you through this. When you add the featured content section, you can add a few different things. I added mine and Nancy's book. I added my membership. I added my newsletter. I added a testimonial, right? I added my lead magnet because again, I'm looking for ways to collect emails, right? So again, all you have to do is go to the top add profile section and you just go, what do I need to add? Oh, I need to add featured content. I need to add my license and certs, right? You're not posting your driver's license, Leonard, to verify your account. You need to provide a government ID to verify your account. You're not posting your driver's license. You're sending that into the security company to verify your account on LinkedIn. So as we go down, obviously there's the featured content section, and then here's the experience section that I was letting you guys know. So you can see the Time to Grow is our company. It has an experience, right? And then it has obviously a little description for each. And as I mentioned to you, right? If I go to show all experiences, I still have listed on here, if I go all the way to the bottom, my gym. I had 2 gyms prior to this, but I have my gym that I closed, right? So that's, again, something that you want to focus on as well. So adding at least 3 experiences. Education. So just to make sure that you guys know, to remove the dates, all you have to do is click on this edit pencil and then hit, maybe you have the dates still right here. I would click edit once, and then I would just make sure that it's checked on month and checked on year for both, save, and then it's updated. So that's how you remove the dates from the education section. Again, that's what the licenses and certs look like. That is what the volunteer experience looks like. This is what the skills look like after. And then this is the recommendation section. So again, these are important to get. And if you don't have any as of yet, if you go back up to the add profile section and you go to you go to recommended, you can click on add recommendations, and then you can click and type in the person's name. Like I can type in, there's Christy, our COO, and I'm going to select a relationship. We work in the same group. Send, and that sends her a message. There's a link that she clicks, and then basically she can write her recommendation. So if everybody is clear so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So again, what are the 3 areas of your profile that I want you guys to focus on for today's accountability assignment? What are the 3 areas of your LinkedIn profile that I want you guys to focus on. Yep, profile pic, banner, and headline. Yep, so background banner, profile picture, and your headline right here, those three sections. Now, your accountability, and let me just see if I can bring this up. Make sure we're here. Okay, so your homework is twofold. Number one, the vertical line, Melissa, it shares the backslash key above the return key on your keyboard. So if you hit shift and then that button, it'll do the totem pole, which is what I call it. It's right above the return key. So your homework is twofold. Number one, if you have not yet completed your assessment, to complete your LinkedIn scorecard assessment. And number two, you are going to type, and it's going to be pinned to the top of the Facebook group, right? It's going to say, I updated my LinkedIn profile and I took the assessment. You're just going to like type in there, again, what it is that you're going to do. But you can also, as a bonus, if you don't want to type it, just take a screenshot of your profile and drop it in the thread of the homework post. It'll say Scott's day one homework thread. So you can just take a screenshot of your profile after you update the background photo, profile picture, and headline, and then you can drop it right in the thread. So if you guys are clear on that, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Awesome. Now, just to let you guys know, it's going to be really important for you, again, to take the assessment, just because it's going to help me refine everything that we're going to do throughout the week. Now, what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow is building your ideal client networks. So again, how can we turn on the faucet of clients and sales with the strategy that I'm going to teach all of you tomorrow? So tomorrow is all about exploding the size of your network and building a quality network over a quantity network, because my true belief is the quality of the connections that you have are going to lead to the quantity of connections that you want. So we're going to get clear direction, and you're going to start generating leads tomorrow, and you're going to be blown away about how simplistic it is to generate leads on LinkedIn. And some of you may actually be booking sales calls this week, and a few of you may actually close some sales. That has happened in this workshop because people have taken immediate action and they've actually closed some sales. So if everybody is clear so far with everything that we went over today, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Again, remember the replay will be put into the Facebook group shortly, so you can watch it there. If you're not yet in the Facebook group, Christy's going to drop the link one last time so you guys can obviously join the Facebook group. It'll also be emailed out tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The other thing is I'm going to drop in the chat one last time as well. If you guys did want to share this workshop with anyone else that you feel could benefit from being a part of it this week, that is the link that you can actually share with anyone that you feel could benefit from being a part of this. Remember, every day is recorded. There's going to be a Q&A form sent out on Thursday, so we do some Q&A on Friday as well. And again, make sure that you get your accountability assignment done, which is the assessment if you haven't already done it, and a screenshot of your profile in the day one homework thread, or just saying, I updated my profile. I believe you if you type it. I don't do that kind of background checking. And that just has to be done before 12:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, before day number 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed day number 1. Love and gratitude to each and every one of you.